again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski. Some people call me Grizzer. And this is where you can get caught up on some of the latest news involving the best team in the AFC North and the entire National Football League, for that matter. It is the Cleveland Browns. And not only do you get some little news bits about the team, you also get my thoughts and your thoughts as well, because I pull them out of the viewer comment section down below the video. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes, who has subscribed to the channel already. We will change the fit once we get to 8,000. We're almost there. We're already closing in on 8,000. It'll be a Shedeur jersey when we get to 12,000. So, and I said that even before what happened Friday night. So, because I knew what was coming. Super Bowl. After the Thriller in Carolina, that's what we got. And then to everyone who gets down into the viewer comment section and makes your voices heard, I appreciate that. You know what? I appreciate it so much that this is a viewer comment only day. Every single topic you see over here was inspired by a viewer comment, and then you see down here, we're still doing the normal viewer comments. So this entire show was inspired by you. We'll see how it goes. And here's what's coming up. So what I thought was going to be one of the weakest rooms for the Browns didn't look bad at all in Friday's preseason game. Joe Flacco wants to be quarterback one. We know that. He wants the starting job. And what he said last week told everyone that he's got a lot left in the tank, even at 40. We're also going to touch on this. Why Dillon Gabriel getting all of those first team reps maybe wasn't the best thing for him. And then down in the viewer comments, the one area of the team that somebody wishes we would have upgraded. We'll have to find out what that is all about. But first things first, let's get the schedule. Now, this is why we're doing viewer comments. There's not much going on. There's no scheduled availability today. But tomorrow it's going to get interesting. Because things are going to have to get sorted out. After Shedeur's performance on Friday night, and everybody's screaming for Shedeur now. I had a buddy text me who said I already bought a jersey, and he was going to get Savior put on the back of it instead of Sanders, because he's already declared Shedeur Sanders is the savior for the Cleveland Browns. And I bet you he's not alone, because after what happened on Friday night. So we'll have to see how this sorts out. Obviously, Flacco is still probably in command. And then, after what, we've been told that Pickett and Gabriel would be back this week. But then Joe Thomas said Pickett won't be back for at least 2 more weeks. And I told you, I saw him walking around the other day. He did not look like he was walking very gingerly that entire practice that I watched. So we're going to have to wait and see. So who knows, whatever comes out of Coach Stefanski's mouth, I don't know. How you got to take it with a grain of salt. So, because they're leaving for Philly on Tuesday, and they have joint practices Wednesday and Thursday with the Eagles. And then the second preseason game will be on Saturday. It'll be a walkthrough on Friday, and then the second preseason game on Saturday against the Eagles, 1 o'clock start time. So that is that. And that brings us now to our first viewer comment inspired comment of the day. And here it is. GG Free 5783 said, they signed a couple of running backs to help in that weak area. They just got to get some practice in. And I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with the running backs. They did a heck of a job the other night. Dylan Sampson, I thought, showed a little bit of burst. Bonnie Marshall had a great game, not just running the ball, but he threw some nice blocks. And Travion Williams got in there and did some nice things. And I thought this was going to be the weakest room, but who knows? We didn't even see Jerome Ford. So I feel a lot better about the running back room, Gigi. And so you were right. They just had to get a little bit of practice in, and man, they look pretty good. They did. So I'm not as concerned about the running back room as I once was. So hopefully they just keep building on that great performance on Friday night. Anthony Davis, 264. You don't think it's that Anthony Davis, do you? Could Anthony Davis? You think him and LeBron sit around watching Browns latest? If it is, somebody let me know. LeBron, hit me up, whatever. Anthony Davis. Well, he's in Dallas now. So, anyway, I digress. Anthony Davis says there's no way Joe Flacco at 40 can carry any team a full season. Well, you know who would disagree with you on that one, Anthony Davis? It is Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco said the other day, he said, look, he's happy to be out there competing. He's having fun. He wants the job. He doesn't, he's not here to hold a clipboard. He's not here to, yes, he's mentoring, but he's not here to be a mentor. What he said was, he goes, I wish some of these practices would go 3 hours like in the old days, because I want to show everybody I can still do that. I can do that. And so, and what I saw at practice last week, I thought he looked really, really good. And then he held his own in the joint practice with Carolina the other day. So right now, Flacco's got a firm grip on QB1. It's going to take a lot to unseat him, especially with those division games so early in the season. So we'll see. But Shedeur knocking on the door, and then we'll see what's going on with these hamstrings. But Flacco says he wishes practices were 3 hours long because he could easily get through them. Now, speaking of Gabriel and hamstrings and everything else, Coach D _A1E, which starts out YouTube handle but ends as a password, says Gabriel got most of those first team reps. Yes, he did. But he's shown what he can do as well as what he struggles to do. And that is what we teased at the beginning of the show. Remember, we said it may not have been such a great thing for Dillon Gabriel to get all of those reps because, yeah, we saw a lot of batted passes. We saw him just missing badly on passes, and it looks like a different offense when he's out there. I'm sorry. Compared to what I saw on Friday night, that's your Stefanski offense. Running a little bit, high percentage passes. You saw the play action, over the top. That is Stefanski's offense. But when Gabriel's out there, they got to keep moving the pocket so they can create passing lanes for him. They're always moving him. He's always rolling. That's why the hamstring is killing him because he's got to be able to get outside of the tackle so he can see who he's throwing the ball and so the receiver can see him. And there was a pass Shedeur threw the other night. And Joe Thomas had even commented. He said he had to throw it over the tall center, and sitting there watching the game, I said Dillon Gabriel he would never be able to make that pass. He would never get it over the offensive line. And so, you're right, Coach D. You are right. Yeah, it exposed his struggles as well. So it, like I said, it may have not been the greatest thing for him to get those first team reps because, yes, he did struggle a lot. Now, one thing that never struggles, of course, the viewer comments, as we just showed you. We're off and running already, and now we're to the normal viewer comment section, and we're going to start with C. Newton, EOV, who says, and this is about Judkins. So this is one of my concerns with the running back room because what that news broke the other day of the attorney waiving the right to the speedy trial, and C. Newton, EOV, chimed in with signing a time waiver in a court case is extremely common. I don't know why people think that it's an earth-shaking thing. It just gives your attorney more time to negotiate with the prosecutor. Well, here's the thing. I go back to that very first time Kevin Stefanski stepped in front of the microphones and the cameras and was asked about the Judkins situation, and his demeanor during that whole question and answer period was borderline morbid. You just could get a sense that we're not going to see Judkins for a very long time. And if they're negotiating for more time to work with the prosecutors and things like that, this thing could stretch all the way into 2026. And then other people are saying, well, you can just sign them because you got to wait for the court case to play out. Here's the thing, folks. The biggest thing the NFL has on their radar right now is girls' flag football. And so the allegations, it's all allegations, but still, the NFL and the Browns are not going to touch this situation with the 10-foot pole until it is all sorted out, and then they will make their decision. But They just can't do it. It's just not going to happen. And but what's reassuring is Sampson looked good the other night. We didn't even see Ford yet, and I thought we saw some good things out of Marshall. So the running back room, I think we could stabilize this. Sampson could take this backfield over, and we should be just fine. R.980 says they're doing everything they can to keep Shedeur from throwing a pass to a first-team wide receiver. Sheesh. Not anymore. Not after Friday night. I can tell you that much. I mean, Deontay Johnson was out there with him, but didn't do much. But you had Thrash out there. I mean, Thrash is having a heck of a camp, so I expect him to be considered a one if he's not considered a one right now. So I mean, really, the only guys who weren't out there were Judy and Said. So but not after Friday night. Yeah, He'll be getting some shots because he just looks so good with the offense when we had a good offensive line in front of him, and even when the bad offensive line was in front of him, all the penalties and everything, he bounced right back, and showed the poise. Gosh, man, checked all the boxes. It was great. Steve Jackson 3041 says, "Why didn't Cleveland upgrade the offensive line?" But they did, Steve. They signed Tevin Jenkins, Cornelius Lucas. We upgraded by moving. We got Jed Wills out of there finally. Got DeJuan Jones over there at left tackle. You really didn't even see any of these guys on Friday night. Not much. And so, they did upgrade. They did upgrade the offensive line. I think it's going to be, you saw flashes of the wide zone in that game Friday against Carolina. And I think they're just going to keep gelling and coming together. But that was the thing about Friday night with Shedeur in there. It looked like an NFL offense for once. We haven't seen that in so long. It was just so impressive and so fun. We got to keep that rolling, baby. Super Bowl. We got to keep it rolling. And then we'll end on Graham 7914. He says the Browns organization wrote their quarterback depth chart on a biblical stone tablet. Not in pencil, not an erasable crayon, white marble stone. Now, I guarantee you Friday night after that game, they took that stone tablet and they threw it onto the concrete and it shattered into a million pieces because Shedeur stepped up and said, my turn. And so there is no doubt he is in the conversation now. So my preference, I'd say quarterback 2. I'd let Flacco, let him learn a little bit behind Flacco. But that's not to say if Flacco's not cutting it, let's go. But right now, Flacco's cutting it. Everything he's doing right now looks good. But once he stops not cutting it, let's get Shedeur in there. That is where we are at. I don't care about anything else after watching that game on Friday night. That is the direction we need to be headed, without a doubt. So, man, I'm still high on what happened on Friday night. It was so great. It was so much fun. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks so much for joining us. Oh, and our first member of our exclusive video is out this weekend at some point. The Financial People will be putting it out. It's out. So if you want to see exclusive videos and learn secrets about me and other things, QR code. I can never get this right. There it is. No, that's it. The QR code. Do that. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, liking. Love it. Love talking Browns with you guys. All right, that'll do it. Go Browns! We'll see you next time.